其实男生他是非常现实的，就是他在权衡利弊，我也在权衡利弊。就男生他不可能就是为了纯爱去选择一个女生的。
This video had me fuming the whole time. Born in 1996, she's fast approaching 30, quit her stable job on a whim, and is now unemployed at home cramming for a PhD exam with zero career certainty ahead of her, yet with her family's two apartments as her only real leverage. Her dating standards are through the roof. She nitpicks every detail about men while calling them out for being calculating and incapable of pure love. She's full of conditions and calculations herself, but won't let men have any standards for her at all. Her double standards are so extreme that even the relationship coach got fed up and refused to walk her through advice. He basically told her to go figure her own life out first. Today, let's break down this wild dating call. Let's start with her actual background. To be fair, her family wealth is solid, but her personal life status is far from impressive. Born in 1996, she's an only child from Guangzhou, standing 165 centimeters tall and weighing 55 kilograms. She earned both her bachelor's and master's degrees from a top 985 university, China's elite tier of higher education, fully on her own merit, no low-quality overseas diploma mill credentials. She used to hold a stable civil service job, but quit cold turkey to take a gap year and study full-time for a doctoral program. She hasn't been admitted yet, so right now, she is effectively unemployed with no steady income. Financially, she does have a safety net. She has around 71,000 in personal savings. Her family owns 2 apartments in Guangzhou worth roughly 4 to 9,000 total, and combined with cash assets, their total net worth lands between 570,000 and 714,000. Her mother receives a retirement pension, and her father passed away from illness years ago, so she carries almost no family care burden. She's had 3 or 4 relatively short relationships and didn't really start dating or engaging with men until grad school, a late bloomer when it comes to romance, and from those few experiences, she landed on one firm conclusion: all men are brutally realistic. They constantly weigh pros and cons when dating, and pure, unconditional love simply does not exist. Her definition of pure love is extremely idealistic, liking someone completely regardless of their external circumstances, loving them wholeheartedly even if they have nothing, no degree, no savings. She claims she is fully capable of this if a man has good character and sound values. She can fall for him unconditionally. She even insists that a person like that could never end up unsuccessful in life. But in the same breath, she freely admits she also weighs pros and cons and has her own set of requirements for a partner. She says the real double standard is believing only women get to set standards. Men don't. In her view, it's normal for both sides to be realistic. Everyone should be honest, lay their cards on the table, and if it works, it works. If not, move on. It sounds reasonable enough, until you hear her actual list of rules. Let's break down her dating criteria. They sound lenient on the surface, but they're loaded with hidden hoops to jump through. First, appearance and habits. He must be at least 170 centimeters tall. She claims looks don't matter, but he must be clean, well-groomed, and attentive to personal hygiene. Slobs are completely out of the question. Second, personality and family background. He needs solid values, loyalty in relationships, and a harmonious upbringing. His family doesn't need to be wealthy, just free of toxic drama. Third, her non-negotiable core rule. He must be family-oriented. She absolutely rejects overly career-driven men who make big money but neglect their family and children. An absent father figure is a complete deal-breaker for her. Fourth, the financial ground rules. It's fine if he doesn't own an apartment in Guangzhou, he can move into hers, but he can never spend her money. He has to earn enough to cover all his own living expenses. And here's the wildest take, in her mind, a man can get by on just $386 a month for all living costs. Here's the real issue. She's not struggling because pure love doesn't exist. She's struggling because she's trapped in her own double-standard logic, completely out of touch with reality. First, she preaches about wanting pure love, but she's more calculating than anyone. She complains that men only care about conditions and don't believe in true love, yet she's got a mile-long checklist of her own: height, hygiene, family values, how family-focused he is. Financial boundaries. Her so-called unconditional love only kicks in after a man checks every single one of her boxes first. She gets to run the numbers, but if a man does the same, he's shallow and unromantic. That is classic rules for thee, but not for me double standard. Second, her standards are all over the place, even she can't keep them straight. One minute she says it'd be nice if he helps with housework. The next she backtracks, saying no, he just needs to take care of his own hygiene. She says looks don't matter, but then insists he has to be neat and put together. She says she doesn't care how much money he makes, as long as he doesn't spend hers. Many of her rules sound flexible, but they're actually vague and impossible to pin down if even she can't define them clearly. How is any guy supposed to meet them? Third, her idea of living costs is completely detached from real life. She thinks a man can survive on $386 a month in Guangzhou, a major first-tier city in China? That is absurd. Rent, food, transportation, basic socializing, any one of those alone costs more than that. This disconnect comes straight from growing up privileged. She has no real concept of how much everyday life costs for an average person. Fourth, her own life plan is a total mess, with zero clear priorities. Throughout the entire call, she bounces between ideas. One second she's studying full-time for a PhD, the next she's talking about starting her own business, all while she's also planning for marriage and kids, and asking the coach how to balance career and family. If she doesn't even know what she wants for her own life in the next few years, how is she supposed to find a partner who's on the same page? No wonder the relationship coach stopped giving specific advice by the end, basically just saying, do whatever makes you happy. The only real guidance he offered was this: stop obsessing over dating rules for now, focus on sorting out your own life and your own direction first, then worry about relationships. Put simply, she hasn't got her own life together yet. No amount of outside advice is going to fix that. The most ironic part of this whole clip is how many people see a little bit of themselves in her. We all love to complain about other people being calculating in relationships, but we forget we're holding up our own measuring sticks too. We crave unconditional pure love, but we can't help but set barrier after barrier around our hearts. Real relationships are not a choice between pure love and realistic conditions, and they are definitely not a double standard game where only one side gets to pick and choose. It's about two people being honest about what they need from life, and being willing to let go of some checklist items for each other. Don't overestimate the magic of romance, but don't underestimate what two people can build together either. Do you think it's a double standard to have requirements for a partner but get upset when they have standards for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments.